The Little Bear Who Built a Snowman. Once upon a time, in a cozy little cabin tucked away at the edge of a great whispering forest, there lived a little bear named Benny. Benny was not just any bear. He was curious, gentle, and had a heart as warm as his fuzzy brown fur. His favorite thing in the whole world was to explore the world around him, discovering new wonders with every step. One chilly morning, Benny woke to the soft glow of sunlight peeking through his window. He snuggled deeper into his blanket, but then he noticed something magical. The world outside was covered in a thick, sparkling blanket of snow. Trees wore shimmering coats of white. The river was edged with ice, and everything looked like a scene from a winter fairy tale. Benny leapt out of bed, his little paws padding across the wooden floor. He pressed his nose to the frosted glass and giggled with delight. Today was going to be an adventure. He quickly bundled up in his warmest scarf and mittens, a big hat flopping over his ears, and hurried outside. The snow was soft and powdery, perfect for playing. Benny rolled around, leaving bear-shaped prints everywhere he went. He caught snowflakes on his tongue and tried to guess their shapes. But after a while, he remembered a story Mama Bear had told him the night before, about magical snowmen who came to life under the right winter moon. Benny's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I want to build the best snowman ever," he declared. He looked around. The snow was just right for molding. Benny started by rolling a small snowball between his paws. It grew bigger and bigger as he rolled it across the snowy ground, picking up more snow until it was almost as tall as Benny himself. Benny stopped to catch his breath puffing out in little clouds. Next, he rolled a slightly smaller snowball for the snowman's middle, and finally, a small one for the head. Carefully, Benny stacked them one on top of the other, wobbling a bit, but managing to keep them steady. Now came the fun part, decorating. Benny scampered around, searching for the perfect things. He found 2 shiny black stones for eyes, a crooked little stick for a mouth, and a bright orange carrot he'd saved from his lunch for the nose. For arms, he found 2 sturdy sticks and poked them into the snowman's sides. But Benny wanted his snowman to be special. He remembered Mama Bear's old red scarf and gently wrapped it around the snowman's neck. Then he topped it off with his own favorite woolen hat, hoping it would keep the snowman warm. Benny stood back and admired his work. The snowman looked friendly and cheerful, just like Benny. But as he stared at his creation, he began to wonder. What if the snowman could talk? What stories would he tell? What adventures had he seen in the snowy woods? Benny sat down, his paws tucked under him, and imagined the snowman coming to life. In his mind, the snowman blinked his stone eyes and smiled a wide, friendly smile. "Hello, Benny," the snowman said in a voice as soft as falling snow. "Thank you for making me. I've always wanted to see the world." Benny giggled. "There's so much to see. Have you ever seen the sunrise over the mountains or watched the rabbits play in the meadows?" The snowman shook his head. "No, but I'd love to hear about it. Will you tell me your favorite stories?" Benny nodded eagerly and began to share stories of his adventures. The time he followed a butterfly deep into the woods, the day he helped Mama Bear pick blueberries for a pie, and the night he listened to the wolves singing under a full moon. The snowman listened patiently, his eyes twinkling with every tale. Benny felt happy and warm inside, even though he was sitting in the snow. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, Benny's friends came to see what he was up to. There was Lucy the rabbit, who bounced over with her long ears flopping, and Max the squirrel, who scampered down from his tree with a bushy tail twitching. "Wow, Benny, what a wonderful snowman!" Lucy exclaimed. "Did you do it all by yourself?" Max asked, eyes wide with admiration. Benny nodded proudly. "I did, but I think he likes having company. Would you like to tell him a story too?" Lucy and Max were delighted. They each took turns telling the snowman about their own adventures in the forest. Lucy shared how she once found a secret tunnel under the old oak tree, and Max told of the time he collected the biggest acorn ever seen. As the stories floated through the crisp evening air, Benny realized something wonderful. building a snowman wasn't just about stacking snow. It was about sharing, dreaming, and bringing friends together. Night slowly crept in, and the stars began to twinkle overhead. Mama Bear called from the cabin, her voice soft and loving. "Benny, it's time to come inside." Benny gave his snowman one last hug, whispering, "Thank you for listening to my stories. I'll see you tomorrow." He gathered his friends and headed inside, feeling tired but happy. That night, as Benny snuggled under his warm blankets, he peeked out the window one last time. The snowman stood tall and proud under the moonlight, wearing Benny's hat and scarf, surrounded by the quiet beauty of the snowy forest. Benny smiled, knowing that magic wasn't just in the snow. It was in the stories, the laughter, and the friendships they shared. The next morning, Benny rushed outside, eager to greet his snowman friend. To his delight, the snowman was still there, looking even happier than before. Benny's friends soon joined him, and together they spent the day building snow forts, making snow angels, and of course telling more stories. Each day, Benny added something new to his snowman: a pine cone button, a necklace of holly berries, a crown of twigs. The snowman became the heart of their winter adventures, a friend who listened and shared in their joy. As weeks passed, winter slowly began to fade. The days grew warmer, and the snow started to melt. Benny felt a little sad, knowing his snowman wouldn't last forever. But Mama Bear hugged him gently and whispered, "The best memories last in your heart, Benny. You can always build a new snowman next winter." Benny nodded, wiping away a tiny tear, and smiled. He knew that every winter would bring new adventures, new stories, and new friends to share them with. And so, the little bear who built a snowman learned that the magic of winter wasn't just in the snow. It was in the love, laughter, and stories that brought everyone together. As the seasons changed and flowers began to bloom, Benny remembered his snowy friend with a smile. He knew that somewhere in his heart, the snowman was still listening, waiting for new stories to be told. And Benny, the little bear with the big heart, was always ready for his next adventure. No matter the season, no matter the weather, as long as he had friends by his side and stories to share. So whenever you see the first snowflake fall, remember Benny and his magical snowman. Grab your mittens, find your friends, and create your own winter magic. For it's not just about building a snowman, it's about building memories that last forever. And that, dear friends, is the story of the little bear who built a snowman and discovered that the magic of winter lives in every story, every friendship, and every heart. As the days passed, Benny continued to visit the spot where his snowman stood, even as the snowman grew smaller under the gentle warmth of the sun. Each visit, Benny would sit beside him and tell a new story. About the first flower sprouting in the meadow, about the birds returning from their long journey, about the new adventures he dreamed of having. One morning, Benny found that the snowman had melted away, leaving behind the hat, scarf, and a little pile of stones and sticks. Benny felt a pang of sadness, but then he smiled, remembering all the joy and laughter they had shared. He gathered the hat and scarf, tucking them away for next winter, and carefully placed the stones and sticks in a special box, a memory box for all the wonderful times he had with his snowman friend. Mama Bear noticed Benny's thoughtful expression and sat beside him. "It's hard to say goodbye to something special," she said gently. "But those memories are a treasure, Benny, and next winter you can build an even bigger, better snowman, maybe with even more friends." Benny hugged Mama Bear, feeling her warmth wrap around him like a blanket. "I can't wait," he said, his eyes bright with hope. The forest slowly woke from its winter nap, and Benny found new adventures with Lucy, Max, and all his friends. But whenever the air grew cold and the first snowflakes began to fall, Benny would look up at the sky and whisper, "Hello, snowman, I'll see you soon." For Benny knew that every ending was just the start of a new story, and that the magic of friendship and imagination could warm even the coldest winter day. And so, the little bear who built a snowman taught everyone in the forest that the best stories are the ones you share with friends. and that every snowflake holds a bit of magic waiting to be discovered. The end.